Okay, new year, same podcast. Colin, Joey, we're here half together.
Hello.
That's how math works. Colin and I are in the same room. Joey, why aren't you here? What the hell's your problem?
Too cold up there.
Well, this morning it's cold. Yesterday it was in the 50s. It was really nice. Well,
So cold and cold. Got it.
Kind of raining.
Sure
Yes.
flooded yesterday.
Well, many things flooded, but chimney cap guys finally came, so no more raining down my chimney into my basement. So hooray, adult stuff. I'm sure everyone's very excited to hear about that. At least you got to hear the drilling that was going on in the morning. That was funny. What are you doing, Joey? What are you up to?
Me? I'm about to drop $9,000 on a new AC unit. Yay.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, my unit stopped working when it cooled down a couple weeks ago, and the guy's like, yeah, this thing's not going to last over the summer. I can fix the leaks now, but you need something new.
Oh, so the whole unit needs to be replaced?
Yeah, the copper inside the outside unit is leaking. And he's like, I can fix it, but it's all corroding away. It's just going to break again.
Ooh.
So,
Thanks.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Got to quote for a new unit?
People keep telling me that my boiler's going to go out any day.
Yeah, I'd rather just not have to replace the AC unit in a Texas summer. I'd rather do it when I don't really need it.
That is true. Okay. Well, Colin came to visit from Canada, the Great White North. Was it snowing when you left?
Wet snow, yeah.
Not so white. More
But
slush.
Yeah, but there should be some snow during the week I'm gone.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to Florida and then Arkansas and all kinds of stuff.
Indeed.
So what are you doing?
Well, in Florida, I'm going to Disney World, seeing Daytona Beach and Miami Beach. And then in Arkansas, I am going to a special retro arcade full of basically every 80s and 90s game that you can imagine, like all the arcade cabinets, all the old consoles, up to and including GameCube and Wii. They've all got couches for everybody to play multiplayer on, and you only have to pay $10 for the whole day. Unlimited play all day.
Good nerd out experience.
Absolutely.
What are you looking forward to the most at Disney World? Have you been there before?
Once, yes.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the fireworks show. It's pretty much the reason I'm going there.
Not the rides?
I've rode most of them,
Oh, okay.
but maybe I'll check out the Hall of Presidents. And if there's room, maybe have lunch at the Beauty and the Beast Castle restaurant.
Ah.
I mean, it's very one-to-one recreation. I had a look in it last time when it was raining. So that was a fun experience.
I haven't been back since I was about 10 years old, so they've added an enormous amount of rides, like a whole world.
A
Or
whole
two.
new world?
Yeah, Harry Potter for one. Joey, have you been to Disney?
Universal.
Yes.
Universal. I've been there, but they've also added stuff.
I was also there when I was maybe 11, something like that.
Yeah, so the same time
Maybe
frame I
12.
was.
Yeah, late 90s, right before the turn of the century.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been 98, 99, for sure. Okay. Well, Colin and I went retro shopping yesterday, to say, and I walked out with there's a retro game store. It's called Time Capsule. It's like right around the corner from my place. And I walked out with Tomb Raider Underworld. That ass.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there. Walked out with Remember Me, a game I've had my eye on for a while. It's essentially like Total Recall, but with women, and it takes place in Paris.
Yep.
We played a little bit of both those games last night just to see if they worked, and Remember Me was really interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
It's got a lot of artistic elements to it, Joey. So you might want to look that up.
And it's got very Batman Arkham Asylum-esque combat.
Do you like any of those games, Joey? Batman or Uncharted, like that kind of stuff?
Never played it, either of them.
Oh, you're missing out.
Yeah. And then I got Legacy of Kain Resurgence or something
I think so.
on the Xbox. It's like the last Legacy of Kain game. See what it's about. I mean, I got Tomb Raider for $4. I got that one for like $3, and you get the idea. But obviously, the most important ones was I got Tecmo Bowl on the NES. Didn't have it.
You
So,
didn't have Tecmo Bowl?
I did not
What the hell's
have
wrong with you?
Well, look, Joey, I fixed it. Okay.
Yeah, you fixed it, but like, how long did it take you to get it?
Well, I'm pretty sure I had it as a kid, and then I traded it for some other game like Mega Man or something. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Just like I traded Zelda for Blades of Steel. It was very important. Are you judging me? Your silence sounds like judging.
Always.
I got ice hockey, and I think that was all of them, right?
Wasn't it also River Raid for Atari?
Yeah, I did get River Raid. Yeah. So River Raid was a game I've been looking for a while, because that was a game. There was an arcade cabinet at my dentist office, and that was like the whole. And let me tell you, I went to the dentist office a lot, not because my teeth were rotting, it's because they wouldn't fall out. So I had to go in like once a month to get something pulled.
Oh, man.
So the only there was Popeye and there was River Raid. It was the only things I got to look forward to before I got things ripped out of my mouth when I was a child. So traumatic experience. So I'll be like River Raid and just feel the pain coming back. Oh, I got a ColecoVision game, Mousetrap. I got that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So lots of stuff, and then went to the manga store, which is not around the corner, but it's more further down the road. And I finished getting Blade of the Immortal manga and just a few others here or there. But the Blade of the Immortal one was finally, it's finally complete. They had the whole rest of the series, so I got that. What'd you get, Colin?
Well, at the time capsule, I got Star Wars: The Clone Wars on Xbox. I rented that one from Blockbuster way back when and really enjoyed it. It was on GameCube at the time, but the only copy in this store I could find was for Xbox, so I ended up getting that one. And I also got Dead Space 3 for PS3. Man, what is with my throat this morning?
Well, it's really dry here, okay? You don't need to judge the house too bad. I'll turn the humidifier on. You calm down.
Yeah, Dead Space 3. I haven't played that yet.
Drink more amaretto in your coffee, okay? Which is very good, by the way.
I will once I finish talking.
What are you drinking, Joey?
I got some Starbucks.
Is there amaretto in it?
No. I'm not a degenerate.
Hey. What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing at all.
He's very judgy today, Colin.
Degenerate.
Seems to be.
Look, just because we played video games and drank cocktails all night doesn't mean we're... Look, we stayed inside, we stayed off the streets, okay? No drinking and driving. We were good boys.
Yeah, that's good.
It was pretty cool. So the 1950s Playboy cocktail book. It's pretty cool that we can like open it up. My bar is like super full now, Joey.
Nice.
And we can open it up and pretty much make anything that's inside it. So it's just like open up to a random page. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. What is it? Bee's knees? Sure. But you know what's not in it? A Cosmopolitan.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Is it not sexy enough?
Well, Cosmos became popular in the 90s with Sex and the City, and that book was before the 90s. So, is that a good enough explanation for you, buddy?
Sure, it wasn't sexy enough in the past. Got it.
Look, the 50s were different times. Ankles were crazy, man.
The Cosmopolitans were not sexy. Got it.
No, there's I haven't come across any names that might get canceled. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. Know what I mean?
You mean like Sex on the Beach?
No, I mean that's fun. Have you ever had it? I've had sex on the beach.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Joey, is that on your bucket list?
No.
Why? Because sand will get
Sand.
to weird places.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Look, you put a blanket down, it's fine.
No, that sounds like it's just a recipe for disaster.
No, the sand is nice and soft. Unless you go to the rocky one. That's terrible. Well, then it's not. Well, it would still be sex on the beach, rocky or not, right?
That's beach. It doesn't say sand beach.
Right.
Sex on a sandy
it
beach.
doesn't specify what kind of beach to have sex on. Would you prefer rocky or sandy, since you're complaining about the sand being an issue?
Neither.
Neither? So, if you're in the moment, Joey, you're telling me, oh, look at the nice ocean, it's very romantic, and it's like, hold on, girl. Let's go back to the room.
Yeah, I mean, is it
You just
windy?
kill the mood.
Is there a chance it becomes like sandpaper on my penis? Because that is a chance
Joey,
I don't
I'm
want
not
to take.
telling you to, like, stick your dick in the sand. Jeez.
I don't know. Most times I'm at the beach, it's windy, and wind picks up sand. I'm just saying. When things get hot and heavy and
Go to the
gets
beach
kind
when
of
it's
sweaty,
like 20
what's
mile
that
an
sand
hour
going to
winds.
stick to you? That sand's going to stick on to everything, and it's just going to become sandpaper.
Oh boy.
You've really thought about the hazards of all this way too much than the romantic moment.
Oh, yeah.
Is Megan awake? We should get
No,
her in
she's
for
sleeping.
her opinion.
She is sleeping.
Okay, all right. Up to... we broke up. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay. You guys up too late watching the Texans cheat?
Cheat? What are you talking about?
No, cheat. You cheated
We didn't
Joe
cheat.
Flacco.
No. Joe Flacco threw 2 pick sixes, so he let not Deshaun Watson. He watched him into shame. He let CJ Stroud sit there and only play about 4 minutes in the second half because that's all we needed him for.
Well. Sounds
CJ
like
Stroud
there was
is
a lot
now.
of interference calls not called.
There was one. There was one that they missed, and it was clear.
That was in like
They
the
should have
first
called
quarter,
it.
right? Or the
Yeah,
second?
it was in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have
Dude,
called
like,
it. He got there
Took him out
definitely
like an
early.
NFL blitz.
I mean, it was bang bang, but he was definitely early. They should have called it. So that was the only bad call I saw all game.
So who do the Texans play next? The Chiefs?
Either Chiefs or Ravens, depending on if Steelers win or not.
Steelers made the playoffs?
Yep, they snuck in because Jags lost, so they lost their spot to the Steelers.
Oh, that sucks.
Like, if the Jags would have won, they would have been the AFC South champs, and Texans would have been 7th. But since the Jags lost, we won the South, and the Steelers have the tiebreaker over the Jags, so they're out.
Oh, Jaguars lost in the final week. That stinks.
Well, they went 5-6 in the last 6 games, or 1-6 in the last 6 games. Like, they lost 5 games out of 6. So they did it to themselves. They were at one point, they could have been the number 1 seed if they won out, but they didn't. So
Yeah, they lost out, basically.
yeah. So if the Steelers win, they'll go see the Ravens because they're the lowest seed. If the Bills win, then we go to Ravens.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, I didn't ask you, Colin. What was your favorite cocktail you had last night?
The bowl. Crap. It was the last one that we had.
Well, that was the Cosmopolitan, right?
I guess that one then.
Yeah, that was the last one we had. All right. If you want to be an individual female that don't take no man, all right, fine. I didn't have your red cloud last night. That one looked good.
Yeah, it was tasty.
I was actually shocked. I forget was it a Bolero or something that I had, or a Bolo? No, you had the Bolo.
Bolero, yeah.
It was maybe that's not the right name, but Joey, you would never guess that this drink was actually good. It's dry vermouth, gin, and a shot of whiskey, and I think it was a little lemon juice. So it sounds like sour shit. You would never think gin and like Scotch whiskey would go together, but shockingly, it was actually pretty good. I think that was my favorite last night.
Nice.
And what was it called?
Yeah.
You don't remember the name of it?
No, I got the book behind me, but I'd have to go and like grab it behind us. Yeah, it's such a thing. Yeah, the first one I had was definitely way too sour. I posted that on Twitter at BowlingJD. Good little plug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just refuse to call it X.
Yeah, and
It just doesn't work for me, brother.
I think that's pretty much everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it was Twitter for a decade plus, and then it's just, oh, you have to call it X now. I was like, what are we making math formulas? X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and it just doesn't really work in casual conversation. Do you see my tweet? Makes sense. Did you see my ex? We're talking about your ex-girlfriend? What are you talking about here? No, I didn't see her.
Just ask more questions. You get more questions than answers. It's not very clear. Yeah. So, haven't beat Dave the Diver, but I'm I'm like 30 hours into this game, Joey. I find myself like dicking around in the ocean, catching all the fish, filling out there's so much side content.
Yeah, there is. And that's the only thing that's like really timed. So you have like, oh, we got a big event in 3 days. Other than that, you can just take your time and just do whatever the hell you want.
Right. Nothing is on a schedule that you have to meet other than, the tuna festival is in 3 days. Right, yeah. Or VIP dude is coming, like Michael Bang. And you have to get him specialty rice, or the rapper guy who just so happens to be the son of the farmer that's helping you out. I got a kick out of that, especially with his song. It's like, Pepituna, Pepituna, Pepituna. That was funny. You have to get him vegetable sushi. I was like, okay, I guess. I guess you could do that. But I'm like finding myself wanting to upgrade all the weapons. I want to like catch all the fish at least once, kind of deal, to complete the book. I found the research, like marine research biologist thing. That's like the most tedious and cumbersome. Like I'm not really into that.
Yeah, it takes so much of your space and weighs so much sometimes.
Yeah, and the rewards I'm not finding them incredibly useful.
I think they are early on, but after you get really established, they kind of drop off.
Yeah. So, but I'm also at the point where I could just like not go and catch fish, and the, I guess the fish farm is just doing the work for me at this point. So, I think I'm going to complete like the next VIP mission, get to platinum or whatever level it is that I'm almost at, and then I'll complete the story. So a $20 indie game went a hell of a long way.
Yeah. What employees did you get, or that you're using?
So I'm using Ninja Girl. I'm still using like the first chick I hired from the start, and then there was the one that was like using the puppet to talk. She's cooking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you get the lizard guy?
No, I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, should get him. Like some of them are really good at certain things, so it's okay to just hire more because they just kind of sit there on standby.
Yeah, for a while I didn't know that I could hire more employees and then send them out to go get ingredients like soy sauce and shit. I'm like,
yeah, I didn't know that either.
So helpful.
That's why you want extra, and then you want to train them up because some of them get like extra perks. So some of them get good enough to pour beer or the tea, so you don't even have to do that.
Yeah, that's huge. So most of the time, it's just me either making sure the wasabi is full or cleaning up the dishes. That's basically my role during restaurant night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very fun game. I'm really torn between Liza P and Dave the Diver as my game of the year. I actually got a message from someone on Twitter, DM. It's like, how could you guys not pick Baldur's Gate 3 as your game of the year? I was like, well, like none of us played it. That's number one.
Yeah. Closest I've done is watching other characters be superimposed into it, like Frank Reynolds from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. We were watching that last night too. Or no, it was the previous night, wasn't it?
A couple nights ago. A wacky YouTube channel where they throw in random like television skit people into video games. Some work better than others.
Yep. Like Frank Reynolds is really funny in Baldur's Gate 3 and Last of Us. And Ace Ventura in Witcher 3 is pretty funny. And Leslie Nielsen in Detroit Become Human.
That one was funny. That works incredibly well. Yeah, I think it was from one of the Police Academy movies.
Yeah,
that they threw his lines in there.
Yeah, it was a bunch of the Naked Gun stuff.
Oh yeah, it was Naked Gun. Yeah. It wasn't Police Academy.
Yeah, Police Squad is what he's from.
Thank you.
And we also watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World last night.
Have you seen that movie, Joey?
Yeah. Have you watched the show?
No.
I have.
You should watch the show now, JD.
I don't know. I really did not like that movie all that much. The main character is capital D bag. I only wanted bad things to happen to this douchebag. So very hard for me to get into the movie. But it had, the longer it went on and the less the character talked, you know, I was like, okay, now the movie's getting better. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a sign of a good movie to me.
I love the movie and I like the show. Right. So you should check out the show.
I don't want to.
I don't think he's going to.
I'm not going to do that.
You should do that.
No.
He should, but he won't.
I was getting Napoleon Dynamite vibes, but Canadian during the movie. And I didn't like Napoleon Dynamite either. And the humor was very much similar for me.
It was very of the time, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it just appealed to my sensibilities more because...
Oh, it's definitely your sense of humor.
Yeah, I mean, I lived in Toronto Toronto area all my life. And seeing all the different parts of Toronto on screen like that, just so prominently, really did it for me. On top of the video game references. And all the enemies bursting into coins when you beat them.
It also has a lot of actors that went on to be a lot of superheroes.
Yeah, like Brie Larson.
Oh, that's where I recognize that name.
Mm-hmm. And right. Chris Evans.
You're right. I did like the skateboard actor dude. He was...
Chris Evans?
Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah.
Captain America and the Human Torch. Human Flame, whatever the hell it's called in Fantastic Four. And then the vegan guy, he was on Arrow. And I want to say he was Superman for a movie.
Yeah. Superman Returns.
Okay. All right.
But I liked him way better in this.
He was way better in this.
The thing was funny too. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a lot of good jokes in the movie that I did laugh at. For sure.
Yeah, I just feel like they should have gotten a different actor for Scott himself, because Michael Cera didn't really sell it.
He stinks. I did not like him in that role. And the character's written like shit. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't think he's supposed to be a good person.
No.
Well, then he shouldn't also be a weak little pussy.
I mean,
he's not weak.
Flawed for sure.
All right. I guess we're going to start with the first podcast of 2024 with the games, with the thing.
Are we going to talk about favorite retro games of last year?
I guess we could. Yeah, we could do that. You got one in mind, Colin? Top of your head?
There's Half-Life 2, Descent 2, and Shadow of the Colossus for sure. Those are my three favorites, I think.
Let's see. Well, Joey's I already know is Pebble Beach Golf Links on the 3DO. So we don't need to ask him what his favorite was. Let's see. 2023. Looking over the list. I really I like Tenchu 1, so that wasn't it. Let's see. NBA Jam. I did like Tomb Raider 3 a lot. Let's see. Oh, the first Pikmin.
Ah, yeah.
I would say so. I will not default to Ratchet and Clank because I just love that series so much. Maybe I shouldn't default to Tomb Raider either because I love all those games. So let's see. I guess if I was going by my rating, it would be Armored Core 2. Right? I think that would
Okay.
be the big one. After that, it'd probably be the things I've already played before. So maybe if I was concentrating on new games, ooh, that's still pretty. I guess it would be the first Pikmin.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we're not doing games that have played before this, then mine would be Banjo Kazooie.
You never played that before the podcast?
No.
I haven't either.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's a really good game. What a controversial statement.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't play when it got out, and I got the rare thing on Xbox when they had like that 20 game special way back, I guess years now. But I played everything else but Banjo.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to put the time in because I figured it would be a long time to play the game.
Yeah,
And
that
I
was a
just
fun
want-
episode. That was back on episode 141 in July, Platforming Buddies. Yeah, that was a good episode to do. Banjo and Ratchet and Clank. I really like the PS1 Action Adventure gamecast. That's episode 136 from May. Let's see. You know what? I would say the most disappointing one would probably be the Ninja Samurai sequels because the first game we played from that series, but
You put out
then
on
the
me.
sequel turned out to be not so good.
Yeah, both those games sucked.
Yeah,
Yeah. For
not
me,
great.
the most disappointing was Ease 3.
Yes.
The only thing it really has going for it is the soundtrack on the PC Engine CD.
Okay. So what drop are we playing as we get to these two games? Look at the list,
How
Colin.
about
Look at the
Chrono
list. What'd you say?
Chrono Cross.
You always go to that one. All right.
I love it.
Here we go. Okay. Nice and short. Colin, it was your theme pick. Why? And then get us to our first game.
Well, I chose it because, well, it's a new year, meaning a new beginning. And I felt it would only be fitting to have, for the next two games we talk about, to be something of a new beginning within the game industry. Whether it be creating a whole subgenre or introducing a game engine that's been widely used all over the AAA space. Plus, I've been curious about one of them for literal decades, and the other one I played briefly as a kid with a friend and wanted to revisit it.
Yeah, and we were playing it last night as well.
Actually, did we specify the topic at the very beginning?
No, Game Changers.
Yes.
Not to be confused with the wrestling company. There's a wrestling company called Game Changer Wrestling.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Stinks. All right. Joey, what did you think of the two games from an overall perspective? Did you enjoy them?
Overall?
Did you not like them? Was it a waste of time?
Overall positive.
Okay, you, Colin. Mine are usually not very good.
I've got a sense for these things. Except when it comes to games like Ease, apparently.
Yeah. All right, first game.
All
What
right.
you got?
The first one is Rogue for the PC. It was developed by AI Design and published by Epix in North America and Mastertronic in the EU. It's released in 1980 on several computer platforms, including the Amiga, Commodore 64, DOS, ZX Spectrum, and Atari 8-bit. And I picked this one because it's considered widely to be the origin of the roguelike genre, hence the name. While it's not the first game ever to have procedurally generated level layouts, it was still the most popular up to that point, particularly with college students and computer savvy people at the time. And the premise is pretty simple. You're a cave explorer in a Dungeons and Dragons type setting looking for the Amulet of Yendor. Fun fact, Rodney backwards, which is the dungeon's lowest level. And the place is crawling with monsters. Along the way, you can collect items and weapons that will heal you, boost your stats, or uncover secrets. But the game has permadeath, so if you die, then you start all the way at the beginning, lose all your shit, and the level layouts change completely.
So
each playthrough is different.
Yeah. Last night, just to remind me, because I tried playing this game and I just did not get it. I was very confused with the whole text-based adventure, but yet we're still kind of quote-unquote freely moving about the map. So I was watching this YouTuber, he's British, and the YouTube video was 10 years ago, and he started mentioning like the definition of what roguelike means, and I found that fascinating just from the fact that 10 years ago it wasn't like truly established what a roguelike was. There was still debate about it. So he was going, oh yes, it involves random generation of maps and permadeath, where you lose everything. And now a lot of roguelike games, it's like, yes, it's still, when you die, procedurally generated maps occur, but there's options to keep certain aspects so you can progress through the quote-unquote game.
You still lose everything. You just unlock more stuff to make the runs different.
Yeah. Yeah, you get like different things that will be able to be unlocked that will on future playthroughs. I mean, Enter the Gungeon does that, Rogue Legacy, 20XX. Those are all games I've really enjoyed.
Even going as far recent as the PS5 game Returnal.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Game's hard as shit.
So hooked on that one for a long time.
So hard. So difficult. Rogue games are notoriously difficult.
Yeah. But hey, every playthrough is different, so there's plenty of replay value.
See, you say that, and I say it gets repetitive.
That's why they have to come back and add more things. That's why I'm playing Dead Cells right now. And not only do you have to get blueprints that could be random drops, or they have an item that you go hunt them, it gets harder. So there's boss cell levels that go all the way up to boss cell 5 that makes it harder opponents, more things that affect you. They actually added more DLC, so there's not just one path. You go from this area to this area, this area. There's like a sprawling path that you can go, oh, I'm going to go to the dungeon this time and up this way. So I think they're figuring it out now, but that's why I think if it was just procedural generated permadeath and that's it, I don't think roguelike games would survive. You need that little extra that makes it like you're gaining something, but also have to reset every run.
Yep. Yeah, I really have to play the Castlevania DLC for Dead Cells.
Kevin played it on his stream. Console Kev, friend of the cast, ex-member. He's my ex, Colin. You can't fight him. Yeah, he loves Dead Cells. He loves the Castlevania. You can look it up on his YouTube. I believe he has a Twitch archive that holds it all up. He speaks highly of the Castlevania DLC.
Awesome.
Because there's even a secret level in there that you play it like it's Castlevania.
Interesting. I will have to check that out in the near future.
Yeah, I really like Dead Cells. That was fun. That was one of the few Rogue that I actually almost beat. I was close to it, I feel. I think I got to, what is there, 6 levels, and then I got to 5? It was something like that. I had only 11.
Yeah, there's 6, starting with no BC up to 5 BC. I'm only on 2 BC right now.
Yeah. The other one I really enjoyed was Hades.
Oh, yeah.
That one was incredible. I did beat that one.
Isn't Hades 2 supposed to come out this year?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. I think it was in the Nintendo Direct most recently. Alongside Paper Mario Thousand Year Door and others.
Well, I put on a ZX Spectrum emulator. That's how I played this. It's still very much like black and white text, white squares everywhere. They try to do like a little sound effect deal when you go into another room or when you defeat something. It has a little tink to it to give you at least some feedback. I'm like, okay. Gotta remember, this is what, 1981, 2, 3? Something like that?
Just 1980, I think.
Yeah. So Spectrum was a little later. But yeah, this came out on like all those computer-esque based, well, I guess you can't call them consoles, but based systems, gaming systems.
Yeah.
So I can't say I didn't, like, it's a game genre that's very hit and miss with me, and this one I just didn't really get, like, understand completely because of
Did you press F1 to learn all the commands?
That's a thing?
That's a thing?
Yes, at least in the Steam version, F1, it brings up all the commands you can do.
Oh, boy. I mean, you can find instruction manuals online, and you'll definitely need them, because I was playing this online streaming version.
This is me putting my head down, just going, ugh.
Yeah, I was just playing it on a website. I can't remember what it's called. Got it right here. Oh yeah, playclassic.games.
Oh yeah, you can play fucking everything off that site.
Yeah.
Can you remind me? On that site, can you choose what version you play, or is it just like always straight Commodore 64?
I think it's just straight up Commodore 64
Okay.
stuff.
Game published 1984. That's what it says.
Yeah. New from Epix, which is, by the way, spelled EPYX for those who don't know.
Look, the X means it's better and stronger and faster.
And that it's no longer around.
Okay. It went out on top. I'll pass it, but obviously I didn't get it. I didn't know the F1. That would have helped. See, Joe, if you would have visited, you could have informed me of this egregious error.
Yeah,
I'm
where the
definitely
hell
passing
were
this.
you?
Being warm down here.
Unacceptable.
There's plenty of room under.
You get your ass up here right now.
There's plenty of room to eat underneath the covers with me, Joey. Just throwing that out there.
I will throw out one more thing. The one enemy I hated the most were bats.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that kill me.
I think I died from like everything. Like, oh shit, there's another dot on the screen. What happened? You died by bat. Oh, why?
You in the version I played, they're always represented by letters.
Yeah, B.
B.
Yeah.
B for bat.
Yeah, B.
Then you had H for hobgoblin, I for ice, something. And then I think G was regular goblin.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful of those goblins.
There was a K, which I don't remember what the K was. Might have been Kabul, but I'm not sure.
Kestrel.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know what that is.
It's a bird.
Bird
of prey.
Bird of assness.
Yeah. Strangely enough, this game actually could create a bit of atmosphere, even for as simple as its presentation is. I mean, occasionally you'll see a text that says, "You hear maniacal laughter in the distance." And then you know that means there's hobgoblins on their way. So that can create a little bit of dread. At least it did when I was playing with my friend way back when. But yeah, I give this a pass. It was pretty advanced for its time. And of course, it's the kind of thing you'd only really enjoy if you were like into computers at the time. Which at the time wasn't quite so commonplace. Times have changed in 40 years.
You pass it, Joey?
Of course I pass it.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Next game.
Alright.
This one I played more.
And I played a little bit last night.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta go to bed, man.
Yeah. So, the next game is Unreal. also for PC. Developed by Epic Mega Games and Digital Extremes, and published by GT Interactive. Released on the PC in North America on May 22nd, 1998, and on the Mac OS in North America on September 1st, 1998. Fun fact, the same guys who, within Epic Mega Games, that worked on Epic Pinball and Jazz Jackrabbit, which we've covered before, worked on this one, including Cliff Blazinski, aka Cliffy B. Now, I chose this one because, as the name suggests, it's the game that introduced the Unreal Engine, which over the years has gone...
There you go.
Okay.
Computer froze.
Yeah.
No! Shut up! Computer, stop! Computer, shut up! Computer, stop! Ah!
Alexa, be quiet.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
PC froze. Colin, do you mind? Introduce not Quake to the audience again.
Like from the beginning with the
Yes.
development?
Yeah. GT Interactive, that whole deal, what
Yeah.
they do. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
God.
Oh, man, I'll live in. Okay, so next game is Unreal on the PC. Developed by Epic Mega Games and Digital Extremes, and published by GT Interactive. Released on the PC in North America on May 22nd, 1998, and on the Mac OS in North America on September 1st, 1998. Guys within Epic Mega Games that worked on Epic Pinball and Jazz Jackrabbit, which we've covered before, worked on this one, including Cliff Blazinski. I chose this one because, as the name suggests, it's the game that introduced the Unreal Engine, which over the years has gone through multiple iterations and has been used by several AAA game companies for various high-profile games. Examples include the Batman Arkham series, Gears of War, Rocket League, the BioShock series, and even Remember Me, which we played last night.
Yes.
Hell, Kingdom Hearts 3 runs on Unreal Engine 4.
Boo.
That reminds me, I have a late Christmas present for you, JD.
Uh-oh.
Here.
Oh, good. I prefer that over Kingdom Hearts.
For the audience's sake, I just flipped them off.
Hey, I like birds sometimes.
I'm surprised Joey didn't say anything either. But I'll take it. Is he even still there?
I'm here.
Okay. I haven't said anything for a while.
No, unfortunately, I didn't get to play this. I couldn't get a version to work.
Oh, wow.
Really? Good Old Games has it.
Yeah, I didn't look there. Steam said it had it online, but then when I got to the store page, it said it's unavailable. Then I found some place that you could download it, but I just couldn't get it to work, so I had to rely on videos.
Well, I mean, it's basically Doom.
Yeah, I mean, I used to
3D
play
sprites.
Unreal Tournament, so I'm familiar with this era of Unreal, but I've never played the actual game. I prefer Tournament over this still.
Okay.
Well, tell us about your experience, Colin.
Yeah, I remember seeing an ad for Unreal in a PC Gamer magazine dated sometime before 1998, and it was pretty freaky. I think I have the picture right here.
Oh, it's a tiny alligator morphed into a tongue of a person.
Well, it's the opposite. The tongue morphing into an alligator.
Well, I guess it's your perspective. Either way, it's blended in.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, for our
It's
listeners.
very 90s.
Suffice to say, at that age, I wasn't entirely keen on playing it, since it looked scary. And then later on, I remember walking around a computer store with my dad, and in one corner of the place was a computer with the title screen of Unreal, the whole camera panning over the exterior of the castle, which was also a little freaky. And the beginning is definitely pretty unnerving. Basically, you're a prisoner who wakes up on an interstellar transport vessel that's just crash landed on an alien planet. And as you make your escape, all around you are the screams of your fellow inmates being massacred by the inhabitants of the planet, along with the growls of an unknown beast. And all the while, the lights are flipping on and off, and you're going through dark areas with green steam.
There are cool and different atmospheric effects that I wasn't expecting. I think the one that stuck out to me last night was the part where the lights are going off behind you.
Yeah, one by one.
One by one, and then you have to throw flares down in order to get it, and then an enemy or two is coming right at you in the dark.
Yeah, that was pretty...
It gave me a lot of like Thief vibes.
Oh yeah,
because that's the kind of shit that game would do, that series would do. Two things I found not for me in particular is there's no like clear objective or where to go.
Yeah, I was gonna point that out.
I found that very strange about the game, where you're just roaming around, and I found myself going in circles a lot, kind of situation. So maybe if it was a little bit more linear, that would have helped me out.
Yeah,
and then you don't like go through places. You have to like bump into shit all the time.
Yeah, there's no activate button.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, but then that causes you to like go into walls, and you might find a secret or two through there. So I guess there's a reason to it, but I just didn't know the rhyme of it.
Yeah. I think because at the time, at least as far as exploration is concerned, the devs really wanted to show off what their engine could do. So they wanted everybody to like look around everywhere, see all the different effects they were able to create with their engine.
Well, the 3D sprite models was certainly something way different than probably anything else at the time.
Yeah.
Especially when you're... Did Quake come out before this or after?
I think before.
So you're only... I know Wolfenstein and Doom would be the two to compare to, but I'm not sure about Quake. Let me look that up as you keep talking.
Yeah. And this is 1998 was also the same year Half-Life came out. So that was another groundbreaker FPS with 3D sprites.
Okay, Quake was 1996. So that's what I had experience with. Because I didn't have a computer, so it was just whatever my friends had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a computer, but we weren't allowed to have Doom or Wolfenstein on there at the time. Although my uncle and my cousins, their computer had Wolfenstein and Doom on it. Still weren't allowed to play it, but we'd always watch my cousin play it. And yeah, the game has some really good lighting effects, like we mentioned. Good atmospheric moments. And the weapons are pretty unique. I mean, I only got as far as getting 4 weapons, but the minigun is a lot of fun to use. Just like fires shards of a special mineral on the planet. If I had a complaint, the enemies tend to be real bullet sponges.
They're repetitive.
Yeah.
They're repetitive too.
Yeah, there wasn't much variety in the...
You have Missile Asshole 1, you have Missile Asshole 2 that jumps around and dodges shit, and then you have the little tentacle fuckers that come from the ceiling all the time.
Yeah.
There's those kind of 3 guys. Unless way later it picks up to different enemies, but it sure... I mean, played like 2 hours, and nothing really changed a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, didn't really see all that much. I mean, I'm sure once we get into like a castle type deal, things would change. But as it is, wasn't really that interesting.
So what you got, Joey?
Yeah, and I agree. They look like bullet sponges. I think the only gun that showcased that they weren't is the sniper. If you could pop their heads off with that, but yeah, they did look the same. And one of the guys reviewed did mention that I think there might be like, I think he said 20 enemies, but they seem very similar to each other. And some of them are just bigger versions of themselves.
So maybe that's what it is. Maybe there were more than 3, but they like maybe one was faster or smaller than another, and it's just like don't notice it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although later on, after you went to bed, I encountered some killer dragonflies.
Oh yeah, no, I saw those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I saw the pterodactyl things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flying stingray thing. Yeah, those enemies didn't take all that much to kill. I mean, the dragonflies took like 2 shots each from the pistol. But
You put the pistol in gangster mode, shoot it sideways.
What you should have done is downloaded some mods, and then we get ridiculous with it. I didn't think of that until now. That would have been funny.
yeah,
Like in Skyrim, the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, or Thomas the Tank Engine.
All right, hold on. Let's see. Does that exist? A Macho Man Randy Savage mod for Unreal. All right, I'm looking this up.
Let's see.
Mods for Unreal. Game. Macho Man. This is extremely important to my critique of the game, okay? All right. I put mids. That's not going to work. There's a Fallout 4 mod with Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh.
Okay. Joey, I hope you're writing this down. This is important.
I am not. I'm looking at all the different enemies that are in there, and it seems like there's a bunch of scars, whatever the hell they're called, different versions of that, like assassin, berserker, gunner, infantry, officer, scout, sniper, trooper, warrior. So they all look the same, but they're different.
Okay, you can turn it into a PlayStation 1 game. Random Events Mutator. Terra Mining, so you can make it like Red Faction, I guess.
Oh.
Kurgan's Adventure using classic Unreal Engine. I'm planning to create a RPG. Oh, he turned the game into an RPG. French level pack.
What?
I don't know. So, no Macho Man Randy Savage mod. That's at least 1 letter grade low. Lower. Oh, yeah. That's too bad. Too bad.
Yeah, game fails.
Yes, I mean, well, I wouldn't go that far. Okay. It would have gotten B for badass because of Macho Man, but now we're going for C.
Yeah, I still pass it. Joey?
Yeah, I pass it.
I prefer Quake.
Yeah, I still have.
Oh, I do too, but this game's not terrible.
No, it's not bad at all. No, not by any means. I do like it more than
Still-
Doom. If that says
I like
anything.
Doom more.
I don't like Doom.
I think Doom's more fun.
Doom has a lot of rah, rah.
You don't like men grunting? What's wrong with you?
No, unless it's you, Joey, next to me in my
Ugh.
bed, where it's warm.
Oh boy.
Not you, Colin. You're too tall and big. My cat wouldn't like you.
You're breaking my heart.
All right. So our 2 games were Rogue and Unreal. Colin, favorite, least favorite, and your letters.
I think I liked Unreal better, if only because it was more playable.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Rogue gets a B, and I guess Unreal gets an A.
Okay, Joey.
Rogue was my favorite, and I'm giving them both Bs.
B and B. Unreal was my favorite. I'm giving that a B because there's really nothing wrong with the game at all.
Yeah.
I would say the only thing keeping it from an A is needs more enemy variety. I'd like to know what my objectives are in the game. That's
Yeah,
kind of
maybe
important
make
to
the
me.
levels a little shorter.
Yeah.
They seem to be pretty long.
Rogue, I'm giving a C. I really don't know what to make of it. It's early 80s. I clearly didn't get it, so I can't go higher than that, but I can't go lower because it's clearly revolutionary in its own right. So going C and B there. So that gives both these games a big B.
Okay.
And then, Joey, you have the next theme.
Yes, I do, and I have no idea what I'm going to pick.
Well, all right, you got a few days to decide, and then we can play them. And remember, the games you can choose are 15 years to today's date as we record the podcast. So we're well getting into the PS3 and Xbox 360 era now.
Oh, yeah.
Just throwing that out
Damn.
there. Did get a message recently about us covering such games. Like, those aren't retro. I'm like, I don't know, man. When it was the early 2000s, people considered the NES retro, and that was less than 15 years, right? Well, no, because it came out in the NES came out in 85, right? Or
Yeah.
86?
Eh,
So that was definitely 15 years old at that point.
probably Super Nintendo that people were considering retro,
Yeah.
and regular PlayStation even.
Yeah. It's just the acceptance that things get old over time. What do you know?
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, that's the first episode of the new year in the books. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye now.